with learning disability, or a sensory impairment such as visual defect or a deafness, reactive attachment disorder, psychiatric problem, or a stereotypic movement disorder, sir, chorea or athetosis, these should not be mistaken as autistic features. And inborn errors of metabolism, the clinical clues, what you are asking is that a child is having a cutaneous marker or an abnormal face or injuries or self-injuries, which are some children with metabolic hyperuricemia can have self-biting, and that can cause self-injuries, and simple history of consanguinity and a coarse face. These are all the clues to, so that we are dealing with a child who is having a secondary autism. That means our diagnosis of autism is going to be wrong. And metabolic clues are that we are a particular odor in the urine, a child having a failure to thrive, a child having seizures, a child having a sudden deterioration, and intermittent neurological problem. These can happen in children with inborn errors of metabolism. The common inborn errors of metabolism mimicking autism are these things: phenylketonuria. They can have a particular odor in urine, a cerebral folate deficiency. Pyridoxine dependency manifests as recurrent seizures in the newborn itself. So these are the clues, so that we don't miss out these conditions and start treating them as autism. And porphyria presenting as a high-colored urine, and mitochondrial disorders presenting as a sudden episodic deterioration in neurological status following a fever or any catabolic state. A child has an infection and suddenly loses all the milestones suddenly and develops a seizure. One should think of mitochondrial disorder. So these are the clinical clues, so that we don't make a wrong diagnosis about autism. So it is our prime responsibility to rule out these conditions before branding it as autism. But autistic features can coexist with these conditions. For example, a child who is having a severe learning disability, what is called as a cerebral palsy or a mental retardation, can have features in difficulty in social communication or repetitive behavior or an abnormal behavior. This is called an autistic feature in a child who is having a learning disability. So this doesn't quote a diagnosis of autism. And secondly, the child can have seizures, like how Bala sir was asking, a severe, difficult to control refractory epilepsy, like Landau-Kleffner syndrome, or a Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, or a refractory absence. In the due course of their epileptic illness, can develop an abnormal social withdrawal. But particularly when the number of seizures or epilepsy is increasing day by day, they can have these autistic features evolving out. So the primary problem here is a seizure and not autism. So if we treat the underlying conditions like this in the seizure disorder, this autistic feature will automatically go off. We need not send them for occupational therapy, like how we deal with other children who are having autistic features.
சார், இவர்களோட இயல்பா மீதி குழந்தைகள் மாதிரியே இவருடைய வாழ்நாள இயல்பான ஆயுள் காலத்தை இவங்க கடக்குறாங்க சார். இல்ல அதுல ஏதாவது
that is in other words, அதாங்க சார், நீங்க இப்ப என்ன கேக்குறீங்கன்னா, you are asking the follow up of children with autism. The thing is, we do not have follow up studies. What happens to these children when they become adults? வளர வளர என்ன ஆவறாங்க? How do they deal with their life? Is their lifespan getting affected? Are they able to marry well? Are they able to do their job well? These questions parents will ask us. It's actually difficult to answer. But the thing is, they develop a social anxiety. They develop obsessive disorders. They develop some sort of behavioral issues in the future. They have difficulties in understanding in the family, with the spouse. But I don't think the lifespan is affected.
Oh, fine, sir.
Sir,
just wanted to know, sir. Just
for your question, I think Parthiban can answer, because he is following patients. The transformation from kids to adult, for Parthiban is following even 27 to 28 years old. Also, his patients are under his control.
Yes. It was painful to ask.
To come forward.
Yeah, ரொம்ப கேக்க கஷ்டமா இருந்துச்சு, but thought of asking. Yes. Thank you very much, sir. Really, it was a beautiful session, sir. We really enjoyed.
Parthiban, அத பத்தி சொல்லலாமே.
Sure.
Regarding the adulthood, we have a unit called as Nirman, where we work with young adults with autism. It is actually a group home which we constituted some 3 years before, in 2018, beginning of the 2018. The reason for starting this particular home was a particular boy, he was a 16-year-old boy, and his mother suddenly passed away because of cancer. And there was no one to take care of him. And the parents were totally dependent on us to do something about. So we just took a week off, and then we did a tour, worldwide tour from we went to Coimbatore, we went to Bangalore and Hyderabad, where there were some facilities for, where adolescents with autism could be accommodated. But that was not, good enough for us actually, because we treat children very well. We really care for them. So that was not good enough. So what we thought then, we studied different models abroad. So we found this Jewish group home concept where these 5 or 6 or 7 children with autism can live together as a family. Like how we share our domestic chores, everything, they share their life. It's a life sharing small community. So we started this Nirman. It's been 3.5 years now. We are getting to 12 boys there. So all of them are 18 plus now. So I always say autism does not get go by the age of 18. Autism still, children with autism becomes adults with autism. They do have sexual issues. They do have this frustration. Everything has to be addressed. It does not mean if a person has autism, he cannot get diabetes, he cannot get hypertension. They get everything. They get obesity. They do have all these things. So everything associated conditions has to be effectively managed to maintain a healthy adult life. So that is what I would like to say. Actually.
Excellent, sir. Great, sir. Great.
You mentioned about Jewish autism community. So ஏதாவது ஒரு particular raceல அது வந்து அதிகமா இருக்கிற மாதிரி உங்க அனுபவத்துல ஏதாவது
இல்ல நான் ஏன் ஜூவிஷ்னு சொன்னேன்னா சார், that is one race where they do lot of internal breeding. They don't mix with other races. It's a very small race in North America, but they do lot of internal breeding.
நோபல் அதிகம் வாங்கின ரேஸும் பார்த்தாக்க ஜூவிஷ் தான் சொல்லுவாங்க as per just available records.
So that is the reason they take care of each and every individual of their community so well, so well. So that was the reason they invented this Jewish group home model. So from which we learned a lot actually. So that's very successful all over the world.
Actually, இன்னொரு கேள்வியும் உங்க செஷன் அப்புறம் கேட்கலாம் நினைச்சேன் பார்த்திபன். சார் இருக்கும்போதே கேட்டா சாரோட ஆன்சரையும் தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம். இப்போ ஒரு ஃபேமிலியில 3-4 குழந்தைகள்ன்றது ரொம்ப அருகிருச்சு. 2 குழந்தைகள்ன்றதே ரொம்ப கம்மியா இப்ப நியூக்ளியர் ஃபேமிலி ஆயிட்டோம். பட் உங்களுடைய அனுபவத்துல ஒரே ஃபேமிலியில இப்ப வேற நிறைய டிசார்டர்ஸ் எல்லாம் ஒரே ஃபேமிலியில 2 குழந்தைகளுக்கு இருக்கு சார். அதே மாதிரி ஒரே ஃபேமிலியில 2-3 குழந்தைகளுக்கு ஆட்டிசம் அல்லது அவங்க ஃபேமிலி சிப்லிங்ஸ் கசின்ஸ் அப்படி ஏதாவது ஹிஸ்டரி இருக்குங்களா பார்த்திபன்? அருள்மொழி சார் ஆல்சோ.
I would like to listen from sir actually.
Sir, again, that indicates that there is a genetic basis for autism, but
yes,
there
sir.
is no particular single gene which can cause autism. Probably it is born to consanguineous parents and it is an autosomal recessive lineage.
Sir.
What is more interesting is in this, when there is a sibling also with having autism, it can be either an inborn error of metabolism which is running in the family, or as it can be a part of a syndrome, a part of an epileptic syndrome or a general genetic syndrome, wherein autism is one feature in that.
இல்லைங்க சார், இன்சிடென்ஸ் அது மாதிரி இருக்குங்களா சார்? உங்க பிராக்டிஸ்ல கம் அக்ராஸ் பண்ணிருக்கீங்களா சார்?
கம்மி தாங்க சார், கம்மி. 2 children with autism.
Thank God. It will be
very difficult.
Yeah, the family will be quite desperate. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Bala, anything to add?
Just to reveal the gravity of the question, one more recent incident in Parthiban's clinical practice. One autistic boy had acute cholecystitis with obstruction, and he was referred to Dr. Ramkumar, Dr. Arunmozhi's friend, for surgery. But it was not that much easy when comparing other kids. So Parthiban was forced to go there, even into the theater. He was there right from beginning. Patient வந்து கம்ப்ளீட்டா அன்கான்ஷியஸ் ஆகி அனஸ்தட்டிஸ் பண்ண பிறகு மட்டும் தான் பார்த்திபனால வெளில வர முடிஞ்சது. Again, once again he went inside to receive the patient, then to take care. So இதுதான் அந்த ஒரு டிஃபரன்ஸ். ஒரு ஆட்டிஸ்டிக் ஒரு அடல்ட்டா இருந்தாலுமே வேற யாராலையுமே அதை மேனேஜ் பண்ண முடியாது. சேம் திங் கிட்ஸ்ல இருந்து அது கன்வர்ஷன், அந்த டிரான்சிஷன் நடக்கும்போது ஏஜ் டிரான்சிஷன் தான் நடக்கும் வழியே டிசீஸ்ல எந்த ஒரு டிரான்சிஷனும் இல்லை அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள். இல்ல பார்த்திபன்?
Nichima, sir. So what I would like to add, on what you have shared on top of it, sir. So the sir வந்து explain பண்ணாங்க, he explained about the behavioral methods like applied behavior analysis, ABA, VBA, and the மாதிரி modules மூலமா how can we treat, we train children with autism. Once the approach is very systematic, they will start trusting us. So that was the main reason I was called into the theater, because the boy was not responding to anyone else, because they are not able to reach him mentally to convince him. So since I know him to an extent, and then I go by the books, lot of books, and then that was giving some sort of confidence in that boy, so I could be of some help there. So I always believe a good theory is very important. Yeah, that is what I wanted to add, sir.
It's your hard work, sir. It is your hard work and your involvement in the child that has helped its success. It's
Sir,
really great.
One more question, sir. What about metallic? Metallic toxicity in kids, which causes autism. There's a theory. Parthiban also wants to talk about that. I want your opinion, sir.
Sir, I have seen lead poisoning, sir, and mercury poisoning in a child, but it was presenting as intellectual deficit, like a learning disability and behavioral regression, and with autistic features. But I don't think it will directly present with autistic spectrum. As a part of a learning or a developmental problem, it can present, sir. Both lead intoxication and mercury toxication.
Parthiban?
The lead which I saw, it's a part of a lead increased in water through water source.
In those patients, autistic pictures won't be isolated, isn't it, sir?
Yes, sir, it is not an isolated. Yes, sir.
So my question is there any chance of isolated autistic picture in these sort of metallic toxicities?
Very unlikely, sir. Very unlikely. As I told, these are all part of the emotional circuits. The substrate for social milestones or a social interaction is part of the other substrates. The same substrate is helping for memory and behavior also. So I don't think only the social dysfunction can happen in intoxications.
Sir, one more question. Sir, is autism is overdiagnosed and sometimes underdiagnosed? Underdiagnosed, we know that. Is it overdiagnosed, sir?
In my experience, sir, it's actually easy to diagnose autism. The moment we look into the child, we can, as a child is walking inside the examination room or a clinic, if the child has a weird behavior, we immediately tend to put it as a autistic, and the parents are not willing to accept the terminology of autism. So that is why in the second slide I told we can use other terminologies for autism, like a developmental social disorder or a Kanner syndrome, or something like that. Because if you start fighting with the parents in the first instant itself, it is not going to establish a proper rapport.
Yes,
in fact, one mother started fighting and they wanted me to use the terminology of autism in my case sheet itself. So we'll be unnecessarily rubbing against their ego. But within the first second itself, when we look at a child who's having a repetitive behavior and a weird behavior and not having proper eye contact with anybody in the room, examination room, we can suspect autism. But the real crux, as Sir was telling, is to rule out conditions which are mimicking autism. That is what we are discussing today.
Parthiban?
It was really disheartening to note that, sir, but it's good. Actually, when you mentioned about that 1938 publication,
yes,
Kanner,
yes, sir, that's one of the, when I looked into the theory for preparing into this lecture, I found that was a very fantastic monogram or a literature which is so old, and the details they have gone into it is really fantastic.
Really?
In fact, the author has said that he himself has some sort of obsessive disorder to look into such details of children who are coming to him. And it is a 38-page record in those days. But the only thing is they are not able to follow up those children. And the studies was done only for 11 children. But for 5 years, they followed. Beyond that, they have not followed up children. And whatever autism we are discussing today is beautifully explained in that one article, sir. If you want to know about article, that one article will be sufficient, sir.
Yes.
Great.
Thank you very much, sir.
Really a significant talk.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, sir. Parthiban, are you ready?
I'm ready, sir. I'm very happy.
Sir, you want to stay and listen, Parthiban, sir?
I'll listen, sir. Thanks a lot, sir, for all your encouraging words, and thanks a lot, sir.
Firstly, I have to thank you, sir, in this very busy schedule. So I disturbed you, and now everything is going on. So I have to thank you personally, sir.
No, sir. Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Sir, one more request, sir. Can we go for another session in the coming weeks regarding pediatric fits, exclusively for pediatric?
Yes, sir.
We have seen.
You tell me the date, sir.
Yes, sir. We have seen several kids with different types of fits. So I think it is our duty to unleash those things to our younger generation, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, in this period of social distancing and social isolation, see you all in the video so live. It is so happy.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
That's why I wanted you to unmute the video.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All the best.
Balasubramaniam.
Yes, Balasubramaniam ready? Sir, you can stop your slides, sir. Slide. Sir, sir, thank you. I request Dr. Balasubramaniam to come forward. Bala?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes,
if possible, is open your video.
Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். இந்த பிறல் வினை வேகம்.
Start your video, please.
Video.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
இன்னொரு சிறப்பு மருத்துவ உரையாற்ற காத்திருப்பவர் நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியும் டாக்டர் பார்த்திபன் கனகசபை சார். இவர் வந்து தன்னுடைய பட்டப்படிப்பை வந்து 2004 சென்னையில வந்து முடிச்சாரு. அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து இவர் படிச்சுட்டு இருக்கப்ப ராஜீவ் காந்தி அன்னை சத்யா பினான்சியல் ஃபெலோஷிப் வந்து தன்னுடைய இளங்கலையில 5 வருடமும் இவர் பெற்றிருக்காரு. அதுக்கப்புறம் சுவிட்சர்லாந்துல இருக்கக்கூடிய டார்னாத்தில் அமைந்திருக்கக்கூடிய கத்தீனம்ல வந்து ஆந்த்ரோபோசோபிக் கியூரேட்டிவ் எஜுகேஷன் அண்ட் சோசியல் தெரப்பி, அதாவது ஆன்மீக குறித்த தன்னுடைய மருத்துவ கல்வியை வந்து சுவிட்சர்லாந்துல முடிச்சிருக்காரு. அடுத்த கீஸ்டோன் இன்ஸ்டிடியூட், யூஎஸ்ஏல இருக்கக்கூடிய கீஸ்டோன் இன்ஸ்டிடியூட்ல சோசியல் ரோல் வெலோரைசேஷன் வந்து இவர் படிச்சிருக்காரு. தென் நமக்கு சென்னையில வந்து சுவாமிமான் அப்படின்ற ஒரு நிறுவனத்தை நிறுவி ஆட்டிசம் குறித்த மருத்துவ கருத்துக்களை வந்து எல்லாருக்கும் நிறைய இடத்துல வந்து பகிர்ந்து கொண்டிருக்கிறார். அது நீங்க போயிருந்தா தெரியும், பாலவாக்கத்துல வந்து இவருடைய கிளினிக் இருக்குது. ஸோ ஆட்டிசம் பத்தி ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஐடியா இல்லை, பட் அங்க போனதுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் வந்து இப்படி எல்லாம் வந்து ஆட்டிசம்னா இதெல்லாம் அனுகணுங்க புரிதலை வந்து நீங்க ஒன்ஸ் அங்க விசிட் பண்ணாலே தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம். சாருக்கு வந்து திருப்புகள்னா பிடிக்கும். நிறைய டைம் வந்து பண்ணி காமிச்சிருக்காரு. வந்து நிறைய கான்ஃபரன்ஸ் எல்லாம் நிறைய கலந்துருக்காரு. தன்னுடைய மருத்துவ அறிவு வந்து நிறைய இடத்துல வந்து பகிர்ந்திருக்காரு. ஆட்டிசம் பேஷண்ட் வந்து எப்படி அணுகும், அவங்கள வந்து எப்படி ட்ரீட் பண்ணணும், அவங்களுக்கு என்ன தேவையா இருக்கும் அப்படின்றதெல்லாம் வந்து நிறைய இடத்துல வந்து நமக்கு இது பண்ணியிருக்காரு. முன்னாடி தவள் அப்படின்ற கான்ஃபரன்ஸ்ல கூட நமக்கு நிறைய குறித்த தகவல்கள்லாம் வந்து நிறைய திரும்ப வந்து ரொம்ப அரிதான விஷயங்கள்லாம் நிறைய வந்து நமக்கு சொல்லியிருக்காரு. ஸோ we welcome டாக்டர் பார்த்திபன் கனகசபை சார். தேங்க்யூ சார்.
Thank you very much, Bala. Thank you very much for this opportunity, sir. Like, you know, the last month was very tough for all. Like last whole year, it was very tough for all of us. So particularly for me, the last month was very tough because last month was April. April was the autism awareness month. So every April, I expect, you know, all the newspapers to cover about autism. People discuss about it in news channels in the live. Nothing happened for the past 2 years. Even last year, the pandemic started raging. Last year also, nothing happened. The same year, thing happened this year too. Because I did a lot of workshops, I did a lot of seminars for the parent groups inside the country and abroad. But you know, that was not the part of the mainstream media. Because autism awareness is all about reaching the people who is not having any relationship with the people with autism. So that is what the real awareness is. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
all right. So what I thought is,
you can request others to mute themselves, please, except Dr. Parthiban.
When Bala sir offered me this opportunity, I was in cloud 9 because, like, you know, nothing happened last month. So at least this month, something, you know, I would like to be part of. And then the icing on the cake is like to listen to Dr. Arulmozhi sir. Like he was always an academician and he always gives a lot of details about, you know, to really work with the real knowledgeable cognitive details. So today I was very fortunate to hear that. So thank you, sir. So even before going into the slides, I would like to just take a point, a couple of points from what Dr. Arulmozhi's lecture, the one thing he quoted about theory of mind, So the theory of mind was made very famous about Simon Baron and Cohen, the chair of Cambridge University Autism Bench. They were here in Chennai in 2010. I was very fortunate enough to meet them here in Chennai. So only then I came to know about much things about, because I attended a workshop in Chennai in the MGR Medical University. So I was called for that. That was the beginning of my time, when I started working with children with autism. By the time when people used to come to our place, like, when an Automan asked, people will say, oh, so that was the awareness our society was having then. So 2011, I met a parent who went to London for a tour with a 20-year-old boy with, young man with autism. So the boy was having a problem of fear of height. So he cannot climb in elevators and he cannot go in escalators. He can only use the stairs, and that is a physical limitation. So what happened, by knowing his problem, a cop, XYZ, any Tom, Dick and Harry, he's not a specialized trained cop or something like that. It's just like a usual cop. What he did is he just switched off the escalator, and then it became a staircase. This boy was able to walk to the first floor of the mall. So she told me that. I was very excited. When will our society be so sensitive for people with autism and their families? So that happened last year. Like, when one parent who boarded a share auto in Thiruvanmiyur to come to our place in Palavakkam, what that auto man did is, he didn't drop them in the main road. He came into our link road and then dropped them in our place. So that's a time, like, when I realized in our society also there is a lot of awareness kicking in, which is a very, very positive thing for the whole of the humankind. So I would, going into the session, like, I would not want to touch anything about autism, because like Sir has did something very elaborate, very understandable theory part actually. So this is from this DSM-5 criteria. I would like to start my presentation. So regarding this DSM-5 criteria, when I started my work, it was like DSM-4 was in use for diagnosis and understanding people with autism. But DSM-5 criteria is very wholesome. Earlier, there was more importance given to communication part, whether the child can communicate or not. So that was a very important thing. But now in DSM-5 criteria, that is not given too much of weight. Whereas too much of weight was given to the social skills part, socialization part. As Sir completely, he has put it very nicely, like social orientation, social seeking, social motivation, these are the areas where given huge emphasis in DSM-5 criteria. And then the other important point I would like to explain to all of us is, it is not just the triads of autism, the communication.
Please go full screen.
Presentation mode, please.
Presentation.
Yes, sir.